I am waiting to see if all my stuff is on. Hang on. How's everybody doing today? Oh, there I am. Okay. Yay! It's Wednesday. We've made it over the hump. You know, with this quarantine, it's hard to tell what day of the week it is. Or good evening. I'm sorry, yes. I guess here in Seattle, it's still it's still the evening. I wake up every day and I'm like, what day is it today? It's Wednesday. My next live is going to be on Friday. I think we're going to talk about cleaning the machines, safe to use chemicals, not safe to use chemicals. I can assure you that the list of not to use chemicals is much longer than the one in that you can use. Hi, Topeka, Kansas. Every day is Blur's Day. Totally. All I know is my day starts out with a cup of coffee or two, and it ends with a glass of wine, generally speaking. All right. I have Minnie with me here today. I thought I would check in with everybody. I've been making masks again. I've committed to making 100, and I'm a creative type, so I have a hard time with just assembly lining things. A really hard time with assembly lining things. So I decided to try a different kind of mask today. I wanted to see what it was like to make one with a pocket or a sleeve. So omit the flannel, which was warm for some people. Ontario, Canada, hello. Oh, thanks. I love making my videos. Keep watching them. All right. So I have two thicknesses of regular quilting cloth here, and then I added a third pocket for some type of filter. I don't know what that's going to look like yet. It actually didn't create any more work. I still have the same number of stitches and seams. I just included the pocket layer on the inside, and it went together really nicely. So I think I might switch to that, because if we can get a hold of some filters that don't have fiberglass in them, so we're not breathing it into our lungs, then I think that this would be a safer bet. Again, not going to stop you from getting the virus, because it is just quilting cloth. They're not the N95 rated masks, but they sure are a cute cover over the N95 masks. So anyway, that's what I've been working on that today. I don't know if you guys saw my post earlier. I finished that Elizabeth Hartman, Lloyd, and Lola quilt. I've decided that Elizabeth Hartman is a genius by the way that she writes her patterns. They're like, if you like puzzles, then you'll love anything Elizabeth Hartman. This is the third one I've done. She's pretty phenomenal, but I'm wondering at night if she dreams up new ways to torture us with 3/4 inch squares. Friends, there were many 3/4 inch squares in this pattern. Do you know how small that is? So like that's a 1/4 inch finished, and she had you half, doing it on the bias and half squaring them. 2 days of my life, but totally worth it for my friend that I made it for. All right, so I did that this week. So today's video was going to be on packing your machine for travel. And as I was thinking about this earlier today, I thought I'd love to plan a trip to take my Featherweight just anywhere outside of my house right now. It wouldn't even have to be like get on an airplane and fly to Hawaii to like see my son. It would be like just get in the car and drive somewhere other than my house. But nevertheless, whether you are going to be shipping your Featherweight or if you're going to be hand carrying it on a plane, there are some things that you should do to protect her because there is some weak places on the machine that will break under transit, and some of them can be a devastating break. So we're going to talk about packing your machine for travel. It will be the same procedure whether you're packing it in a car or whether you're packing it for an airplane. Okay, the first thing is the spool pin cover on the top of the machine is very sensitive. It's a machined part. If you have a black machine, not like Minnie, you can definitely buy a replacement part for this if this little thing gets bent or broken. So outside, I should do that because I have a nice deck, Bama 5, and it's gorgeous here in the Seattle area the last couple days. I might do that. It's good. That's a good plan. So this spool pin cover needs to come off. You simply need a flathead screwdriver. I like to take it off completely, and then I reseat the screw back in the hole with my fingers. Don't panic if you drop it inside on accident. Not that I've ever done that before. It will just shake right out, or you can take the lid off of the bottom so that you can shake it out from the bottom. But anyway, so reseat the screw back in so it doesn't get lost. This needs to be bubble wrapped separately from the machine. And then the other thing that you should take off is the bobbin winder. So I'm going to turn around Minnie here so you can see the front of her. So this is the bobbin winder. This should also be removed. Now, this one's a little trickier than this spool pin cover, because when you take this screw out, you also need a bigger flathead screwdriver. It has washers in here that some of them are concave and some of them are convex, and you need to make sure that however the order of the washers that you take this off with, it needs to go back in the same order. Otherwise this won't have that stiffness to it when you want to run a bobbin and make good contact with the belt. Some people's washers are just worn out, and you can replace them, like our shop carries replacement washers for them. And so sometimes a little bit of encouragement in the form of your finger on the top of the winder when you're winding a bobbin helps to run the bobbin a little bit faster so it doesn't slip or slide around. So these two areas need to be addressed before you pack it up. If this winder snaps off, not at the base where it attaches to the machine, but at the winder, not all hope is lost. You are not in terrible shape because you can buy a replacement winder for it. White ones are much harder to find than the black ones. But if it snaps off with the way the screw attaches to the cast aluminum body, that's a problem. So you can weld aluminum. It's not a pretty weld, and it's right in the front of your machine. So aesthetically speaking, ouch. So that's why you want to take extra care with this bobbin winder and with the spool pin cover when you are taking it anywhere, whether you're on a plane or on a road trip. So I do travel the country. I'm a speaker for these machines. I've been to a lot of different places, and I've never had a problem. I always have at least one machine with me when I go to do speaking engagements and workshops across the country. I've never had a problem leaving the Seattle-Tacoma airport, the SeaTac airport. Coming home, I've been stopped but all the time. So don't assume just for a second that one airport lets you get on with it and doesn't have a problem with it lap carrying. But then when you come home, the other airport is like, no, thank you. So just assume anytime you're getting on an airplane that there is a possibility that your machine is going to land in the hole of the machine, and just, prepare it accordingly. So that is the two pieces of advice I have for you when it comes to traveling with your machine. I had a good friend from Arizona travel up here last summer with her grandmother's machine. Madam SQ is a good friend of mine, and we met at a conference last year, and she had her, I got it. She had her grandmother's machine, Nettie, with her, and she had it just sitting behind her seat, and it was just in a tote bag. She didn't have a case for it. Hello, Willow Bay 52. And I scolded her a little bit because she still had this sitting with stuff piled on it behind her car. And I was like, oh, no. So we made sure it was packed right before she headed back by car to Tucson, Arizona. So anyway, I've gotten lots of calls in the last couple days. I think it is pretty awesome that our modern day contribution to this war on the virus is for the sewers to construct masks. So I've gotten lots of calls. Clearly people are pulling out their featherweights, using them in their studios, using them to make masks. I just love it. I think it's phenomenal. Please, if you have any questions for me, you can reach me on my email at info@featherweightdoctor.com. Our website is featherweightdoctor.com. I will be live on Friday. I'm going to go a little later. I'm going to go at 5 p.m. Hey, Sarah, how are you? I'm going to go at 5 p.m. And we are going to talk about proper cleaning chemicals for how to take care of your antique beauties. They have a very specific type paint on them, and you have to be careful to not strip the finish off of them when you go to clean them. So we're going to talk about that on Friday at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Hold on, someone says, my computerized machine broke and I had to pull up my featherweight. Best thing that ever happened. Well, I don't know about your machine breaking being a good thing, but I bet that featherweight didn't let you down. That's always how it happens. I had a lady today from the Portland, Oregon area call me, and she was so SEW excited because she had gone into her mother-in-law's sewing room. Her mom-in-law's been passed for a while, but found a featherweight in there, and she was so excited that she had found a featherweight for free in her mother-in-law's quilting studio. It didn't have a foot pedal. She didn't think that her mother-in-law actually used it. I guess she was kind of known for being a thrift store shopper. So it's going to come up to me in the shop next week, and I'm going to get it all cleaned up and tuned up and put a new foot controller with it and send it back to Oregon for her to use. So I thought that was pretty cool. She also had a very, very, very cute 301. Do you guys know what the 301s are? They're the workhorses of the Singer world. Very heavy, all steel, but super fast, and a great little machine to have on hand. So anyway, well, thanks for joining me for a few minutes and learning how to pack up your machine for travel. I hope everybody is having a great Wednesday. We're on a downhill for the weekend, which means absolutely nothing because the weekend is going to look just like today. But do you remember when our weeks used to like start with a Monday and end with a Friday, and it was super exciting, and now we're like, oh, what day is it? All right, guys, have a good night. We'll talk to you soon.